AI. We all hate it, yet it keeps gaining more power. The takeover of our new robot overlords is just around the corner, and, like all new innovation, it seems there's nothing we can do to stop it. Though I am a proud human supremacist, I am also, sadly, a pussy, so I've accepted my eventual demise at the cold plastic hands of humanity's most soulless experiment. But that's a subject for an entirely different video. There's a lot of interesting debate to be had about the dramatic rise of AI, its ethics, its use, which I'm happy to engage in. And right now, we're sitting at a point in history similar to the dawn of the internet. Being a verified hag,
Look, it's Daddy's regret.
I can remember when the internet was the Wild West. Fresh, unexplored, lawless. And that's exactly what we're seeing with AI content right now. There seems to be no end to the ways that society is finding to feed into this monster with reckless abandon, and at this point, there's not a lot of laws or regulation on how AI can be used and for what purpose, or most importantly, to what audience. In the world of AI videos, the results are kind of insane, and I'm going to be sharing some of my findings with you today, and I'm going to do that in a few different chapters time-stamped in the description. But before we go on, some of these videos I'll be showing can be genuinely upsetting, disgusting, and often kinda disturbing. If this isn't the video for you, I completely understand. Save your innocent eyes, for mine have seen far too much. Hell is empty and all of the devils are here, churning out mindless AI content for our doom-scrolling displeasure. Starting off, I think it'd be fun to make a little game of guess what will happen. I'm going to show you the first frame of a seemingly normal video, and I want you to guess what you think is going to happen when the AI rears its head. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so we have a dog. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think the dog will A, morph into some kind of bug creature, B, stand up and walk into a waterfall of chicken nuggets, or C, be carried off by Jesus with robot legs? To point out that all of that could have happened, yet somehow what we got was even more goddamn insane. Okay, here we have an elderly looking woman getting some exercise on what appears to be an ab lounger. When's the last time y'all saw an ab lounger? Do you remember those? I feel like everybody knew at least one person that had one of these. Somebody had this somewhere in their house. Anyway, do you think grandma is going to A, melt into the floor like butter, B, sprout out bug legs, or C, get up off the exercise equipment and ride off on a purple unicorn? I'm gonna be real right now, that's the first video that sent genuinely, like, the bad chills through my body. We have another elderly woman, which is something I noticed is kind of a pattern, one of the trends in these AI videos for some reason, and she's reaching into a closet or maybe a fridge full of eggs. Now, how do you think this video will proceed? Will she A, stuff a whole bunch of the eggs into her mouth and choke on them? B, a police officer will walk into the scene brandishing a squirt bottle and start kissing her passionately on the lips? Or C, a doctor will enter, use chopsticks to pick at the eggs in her hands until she morphs into a horrifying noodle creature before our eyes? Next, we open on a toilet. Classic. Do you think A, Skibbity Toilet Guy will make an appearance? B, the bowl will become a face that will smile at us in a way that makes us feel uncomfortable? Or C, a spider will crawl up from the pipes into view? Be honest with me. You were surprised it was the least weird answer. Why does something that appears so wholesome make me feel so unclean? Oh, another dog, and there's a little hand slipping into frame. Who could possibly be coming toward this dog? Alright, we expected Jesus, but did we expect the dog to man transitions? Speaking of animals and man in transition, there's a flavor of AI content that seems to be about fusing the two together, but Not in a cool way or even a fetishy way, just weird. I truly hope that you people appreciate what I do for you. Why is it that so many of these involve extremely fleshy looking bodies? Not that there's anything wrong with those. I love me a good amount of flesh. There is so much to hate about this one, but I think the worst thing is the sound. I understand that like many of these, AI probably superimposed human features onto an already existing clip of an animal, but that logical answer doesn't satisfy my burning need to know why. This is basically the same as the other one. It's just another goat-man fusion. But are we really surprised that these accounts that are churning out upwards of 30 AI videos a day lack any real creativity of their own? Now, ordinarily, I would censor the faces of any children in my videos, but in this case, I don't believe that any of these children actually exist. Look at this. These two are just clones of each other. And once you realize that, the uncanny valley alarms that were already snaking their way up your spine as you view these abominations start blaring much more loudly. You know what? This is gonna get me so much hate, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This is even worse than this! I said what I said. You know what? No, drawing the line. Now for this segment, I had my lovely husband send me links to a handful of AI videos that I haven't seen yet for a pure reaction. And you get to laugh at me. Alright, first one. I'm like nervous. Looks like Trump and a woman. I assume perhaps his wife. Oh! What? Why are so many of these AI videos, they're always pregnant? Oh, he's got an apple. Oh, he's so cute. Wait. Oh my god! Did you see the guy's face? The dog turned into like a little seal with the fins. I love how he doesn't even look at the dog. Like once the dog is in the air, he's just... Oh, this one has a sensitive content warning. Alright, I'll go ahead and put a content warning on the screen now, so you can skip this if you need to. Ugh! Oh my god. I can't believe you've done this. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know another animal could give you uncanny valley. I have actually seen this one. I know he didn't know that. But I've actually seen this one. It's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. It is very cool. Oh, the sushi one makes me feel so many feelings. None of them hunger. I actually think that the egg bird and the bear potatoes, that was really cool. It was really cool. I still hated it though. And it looks like that was the last one. I'm going to be having a word with this man over some of those videos. That was totally uncalled for. For this next segment, I'll be exploring the horror genre of AI, meaning things that are made horrific on purpose. I'll put a timestamp on screen now if you'd like to skip this part. Alright, let's take a look at the first clip. See, okay, as much as I hate AI, and make no mistake, I hate this. Seeing stuff like this makes me think about how it may have potential for, like, indie horror movie projects. But again, that's a subject for a different video. Please comment below if you actually want to see that video. I have many thoughts. What's her OnlyFans? Smash, next question. You know, sometimes the internet can be a wonderful, wholesome place. I am actually going to be sick. That thing just turned inside out. Surely it isn't going to get any more gross than that. What do you even put into an AI generator to make that happen? If you'd asked me going into this what I thought was going to happen when showing me this image of these cat-like creatures with mouths Frankensteined all over their bodies, the words, "new kittens will come bursting forth from their random jaws all over their bodies," is a sentence that I never thought would have to come out of my mouth. This is just what nightmares are. This is what they look like. I'm actually being kind of serious right now because if you look into the way AI is simulating the human brain to do what the brain does, there are some interesting connections to the way that humans dream. I won't get too deep into it right now, but you know the way that AI seems to still have trouble with hands a lot of the time? If you've ever tried to lucid dream, one of the suggested tips is to look at your hands a lot while you're awake. This will make you more likely to remember to do so in dreams, because your subconscious is so used to it, leading you to possibly noticing that your brain is going to have trouble showing you what your hands look like while you're dreaming. It's a step toward recognizing that you're in a dream, letting you take control of it. It also, over time, makes it easier to remember your dreams after you wake up, which from personal experience is why I say that so much of this content actually does look like what nightmares look like. What I'm getting at here is that dreaming brains and AI have the hands thing in common, among other quirks, and the deeper meaning of that is frightening to think about. I don't recommend trying to lucid dream, by the way. Being successful can be fun, being able to remember my dreams is cool, but being unsuccessful led me to personally having issues avoiding sleep paralysis. So, attempt at your own risk. All I can imagine from this one is what certain demographics would think of this. Do you think we could convince them that this is real? A sign of the end times? I think we could. And I don't like the implications of that.
Hey, remember me? Or square pillow? I still have that strand of hair. You left me. I think of you often. My lips still taste of fleshy little flakes you left behind.
I mean, what do you even say to that? I have been robbed of words, and I am now numb. Did you appreciate the end there where the pillow was being burned? Yeah, I added that myself. That's right, I used an AI generator to make that happen. That way none of us here are free from sin. It took no effort whatsoever other than the slight test of my patience when I waited for the machine to assemble its ones and zeros to create it. That is far too much power for far too little effort. But also, I just needed to see that abomination burn. Alright, that's about as much as I can take of that. Let's move on to the next segment. Alright, before we stroll into the somehow even more horrifying bits of this AI nightmare parade, I think we need a palate cleanser. I came across a couple of AI-generated videos that, against all odds, actually made me laugh a little bit. In kind of a, I've been staring into this horror for too many hours and my brain is broken just the right way to make this funny kind of way. Does that justify their existence? Absolutely not. But after spending too many hours combing through some of the most cursed content the internet legally allows, finding a video that got a genuine, LOL out of me felt like spotting an ice cream truck rolling through the Mad Max wasteland. My stomach still hurts, but I'll take what pleasures I can get.
Welcome to the Talking Baby podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking to the weird-looking person who lives at my house. Thanks for being here, weird-looking person.
Well, thanks for having me. As you know, you are my third favorite person.
My third favorite? God, it looks so good, too, by AI standards.
It's funny how when you're a teenager, life just feels different. It's both too fast and also way too slow.
Why don't you take a break and have a cookie, dear?
Why don't you shut the fuck up, Grandma? I don't fuck with processed carbs anymore.
10 out of 10. If AI is to be the future, I hope it gets used more like this.
Dobby's pumping his glizzy in your lobby. Come check him out. He's cute, perky, and full of turkey. This is your chance to see your bean boy.
Cute, perky, and full of turkey is going on my Discord immediately. Book talk girlies, this is your fault. You did this to our eyes. It's definitely not what us normal people are... You guys are weird. Wait, I don't remember this scene in Harry Potter. Now, I myself am not a Harry Potter fan, but let's see if we can spot what's changed. I think the eyes were just a step too far. Cut it off at this, and I think we've got a perfect video. I mean, I feel like I'm a grandma for laughing at this. In internet years, giggling at Trump getting dusted in the face with Cheeto kind of feels like my parents laughing at cringy Seinfeld jokes.
You like jazz?
Speaking of Cheetos, this next segment covers something kind of concerning that I noticed in too many AI videos. Brands. Now, before I say another word, for legal reasons, I need to clarify that anything that I say or have said in this video about the content featuring brand items or brand names are purely my opinions. I'm not making any statements about any of the brands seen on screen, nor am I claiming that any of them have paid a content creator to make any of the following videos for them with the intent to advertise or otherwise. This AI slop is loaded with brand name items. Why on earth would Cheetos allegedly, in my opinion, appear to want to be associated with disgusting imagery like this? I'm not really sure. But one aspect of the AI takeover that I feel like not enough people are really talking about is the advertising. And these brands are in on this. They're teaming up with AI content creators on purpose, allegedly and in my opinion. Interestingly, they allegedly do this not only so that they don't have to pay any humans, because there is no God and the human race has turned into the worst version of itself, but also so that they can have more direct control over the advertising. Keep this in mind. We're going to come back around to this point, but real quickly before that, I want to briefly open up a segment I call When It's Too Good. Most of us have seen the insane amounts of progress that AI has made with the Will Smith eating spaghetti thing, but some of the content I found has got the people looking a little too realistic for comfort. Keep in mind, AI was making this kind of progress in just 2 years. 2 years. Okay, this just straight up looks like a person is buying a lobster. The main tell that this is AI is that there's water getting everywhere. This one, you can almost convince me that this is straight up real. His hands look normal. His hands! Is this only partially AI? I don't know. The iron is even making a sizzle. What the hell? Oh my god, that's the worst one. Oh my god, it looked like a normal video at first. With how quickly this is evolving, we're not going to be able to trust anything we see or hear anymore. I know that's not like a hot take or anything, but it's true. We need to go back to the alleged advertising and talk about the worst of this nightmare. AI kids content. Before you come for me in the comments, I'm sure that you could make a case for this stuff not necessarily being made for kids. But come on, it's all heavily featuring things that will catch a kid's attention. In fact, the most AI content that I saw were just an amalgamation of things that kids like and brands, all rolled into the same video. This particular account, which is pretty much the worst one that I saw, by the way, features the closest approximation of licensed characters that they can make, running into stores with real brand names all over it all the time. This account has a favorite formula that they use constantly. Character runs into a store, something involving an entire river of shit, character drinks a brand name or very close to a brand name beverage, character runs to a toilet where more shit explodes everywhere, and there's always a lightning strike for some reason. Look at the way the video has all the things that kids are into visually, combined with gross things that only a very young child could reasonably be expected to find funny. Mix that in with the brands, and it's just a whole other level of horrifying and evil. They've got Barbie, Disney princesses, Minions, Peppa Pig, Skibbity Toilet, everything that makes for great iPad child engagement. If they aren't making videos based on this formula specifically, they're making videos using the closest approximation of licensed characters that they can get, and making them grotesque. That or showing them do crime? I mean, it isn't explicit and little kids probably won't think twice about it, which makes it even worse for me. Y'all know what you made. You know what you're doing here. Guys, I'm really trying. I want to keep things light and fun, but content like this genuinely makes me angry. At the risk of sounding like a Gen X TikToker talking about how they used to drink from the water hose, I come from the generation of children that were given unsupervised internet access in its first lawless years. I was seeing awful things, degenerate things that a child should never see. I was engaging with multiple predators on a daily basis without realizing how much danger I put myself in because my brain wasn't developed enough to comprehend the danger I put myself in. And even with all of that, I'd still rather a child be on the internet back then, hopefully with supervision, than find themselves mindlessly scrolling through content like this. This should be criminalized. Believe me, I recognize that children these days are still seeing way too much, and there's plenty of them that have probably been scarred much worse than I was at their age. But that doesn't mean that we need to be accepting of this kind of content targeting them. I understand that AI in and of itself isn't the problem here when it comes to these particular videos. It's the people behind them that are pumping them out, knowing what audience is going to find them. I haven't seen any kind of age restrictions on this, and in my opinion, for that, they should be in prison. God, look at this. This is just a grown man making out with what looks like toddlers. What even is this? Who is this for? While you answer, hand over your hard drives. This content reminds me of Cocomelon, but only in the bad ways. Where Cocomelon could, unfortunately, be defended, subject for another video, nothing at all of any value is coming from slop like this. It's constant hypnotic movement, random sound, bright colors, flashy lights, and gross visuals, all for the sake of engagement and literally nothing else. And basically no effort is needed to make endless amounts of it. Being completely serious, when I tell you that scrolling through this account, I ended up completely just zoned out. I don't even know how much time passed, but my brain completely shut off and I just sat there staring at the screen like a zombie, sometimes watching the same video repeat, because I just wasn't thinking anymore. And I'm really not exaggerating, it freaked me out when I snapped out of it. This is what our grandmothers thought the television was doing to us back in the day. This is the reality that they feared realized. I noticed another trend among AI content that appeared to be aimed at children, and that's cats. Lots of cats. Always getting pregnant for some reason, and always playing pop songs covered by someone singing meows instead of words. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. 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 At least these kind of have a story, and again, if there was some kind of age restriction on some of these, I'd give them a pass. Not because I think that the content is good or warrants existing, but because at least some thought went behind it. And it's not just pushing brands. It's not for me, but there's a lot of content out there that isn't for me. Though I'll admit, some of them did genuinely entertain me. Alright, we have a pair of orange cats getting married. She's going to the possum gym, where she meets her trainer, and oh, guys, I think they might be doing something that the Lord doesn't approve of. Looks like she's avoiding his calls and annoying husband. My favorite thing about this is the subtlety. And she's pregnant. They always are. I'm pregnant. That's not my business. Stay away from me. Oh, here we go to the hospital. She's gonna have the baby. Or the kitten. And oop, husband is shocked that it appears to be not his baby. I mean, that is certainly the face that I would make if my cat wife gave birth to a kitten that looked nothing like me.
Oh my God!
2 years later.
Oh my God!
Another pregnant cat. Oh joy. Is that Michael Jackson? Is that the king of pop himself getting a call about his cat wife being rushed to the hospital to give birth? He's on a tricycle? Fuck! What the fuck? He's on a tricycle. Guys, if any of y'all were wondering why there was a bit of a delay on this video coming out, It's because this whole endeavor felt damaging to my overall mental health. I actually needed to go out and touch grass for several days before even attempting to write this script. And then I needed to go out and touch grass for several days after that. And there's nothing else that kept me from doing what I needed to do. No, nothing at all. For real. I don't have just a lot of solutions for these problems. Again, this is a very debatable subject, and we can't stop the future. All of it is made for engagement. Even the stuff that clearly, in my opinion, was targeting kids, there's plenty of adults commenting on them. These accounts make hundreds of videos a week or more, and it takes pretty much zero effort for them to do it. They're made for engagement, and we all know what engagement leads to. Revenue. And they don't mind if everyone knows it either. They're teaching each other how to do this with as little effort as possible. The only thing that we really can do to combat this is to stop engaging with it. When you see a video that looks like AI slop, don't watch it, scroll past. Don't comment, you're just boosting it in the algorithm, with the laws surrounding AI and its use being what it is right now. And honestly, when you look at it that way, why wouldn't they post as many videos as they can with the most outrageous things they can think to prompt the machine with? Other than that, I would hope that in the future there will be laws regarding AI that require clear watermarks or some other kind of disclaimer over them that says this was made using AI, especially with how good it's getting at looking somewhat real so quickly. As far as the content aimed at kids goes, I don't have an exact solution, but something does really need to be done about that. There are already so few spaces left for kids to just have a childhood anymore, especially in real life, and the internet doesn't have many places left that are just made for kids either. I don't think there's a simple answer, but we do need to do better for the future. Then again, why are we here if not to suffer from the lack of creativity and demented minds of both the technology that man has invented and the demented mind with which he pushes unstoppably toward the future? But is this a future we want to live in? Never mind, AI is a blessing and I take back anything I've said to the contrary.